So I'll be showcasing a game which is a 2D action RPG game which uses blockchain to implement classic RPG concepts. So I'll be showing the login feature which has been done using Web3 auth, which asks for your Gmail to log in, and it utilizes your Gmail to make a separate wallet for you which can be used for this game. This wallet requires AVAX for transaction, and transaction is needed especially for the character creation, which you'll actually be creating a mutable NFT on the Avalanche chain. After the creation of the character, we directly jump into the gameplay where we'll first start with the controls. These are the controls, generic controls, and then we see the player which has been made into a finite state machine. We also see different enemies and we can use different spells to combat them and normal attacks as well. You can also see different equipments and items which have been laid around, as well as spells to defeat enemies. Enemies use VRF to give a random amount of XP to us. And here you can see the shop function, which uses automation to refresh itself, to refresh the stock in it, because generic shops in old RPGs usually use a in-game timer or the device time, which can easily be manipulated. So here, the shop feature has been done using automation, which restocks it every 4 hours. Now we move on to see a few different enemies and the different desert location. Here you can see different potions which you have, and you can also see the inventory system where we can use different items and equip items. And then you can see a different enemy, a wizard enemy which shoots projectiles at us. We can also combat it. It is also a finite state machine, and in a different direction there is the desert region where you can see the scorpion enemies which shoots out poison sting projectiles, which we can dodge, and it has a very fast-paced combat system. Now let's move on to discussing about the technical details of the project. As you can see, this is a level up screen where we level up our stats. These stats are what correspond to our attack and defense, and different stats which in game are used for calculating the damage dealt and the damage taken. Now let's move on to the GitHub to discuss the technicalities of the project. Yes, so this is the GitHub README, and this is what makes this game special. So this is a traditional RPG game which incorporates blockchain for RNG and for shop automation and ownership of the characters. Now it has multiple features, and the main architecture involves a Unity logic layer. The game has been built in Unity, and then the blockchain logic which incorporates Ethereum to call blockchain, to use blockchain, and then we use it directly in the game. Now the simple contracts are the simple random one and the shop refresh. Simple random contract uses VRF to get a random number, which is then incorporated in the enemy to give out a random amount of XP, which is really needed because true randomness can only be achieved through this via blockchain. And the shop refresh uses automation. Now we'll move on to the game mechanics, where the combat system of the enemy requires direct communication with blockchain, which has been done via Chainlink and in Ethereum. The random number generation has been done via RFS. Now the character stats, which can be updated, as which we can update the NFT. And as we move on to the architecture, we have multiple Unity complex, a complex spell system architecture which utilizes scriptable objects. And then we'll move on to the blockchain integration, which has been done through Ethereum and Web3 authenticity for auth. This is the VRF subscription of mine, and this is the VRF upkeep, automation upkeep. Here you can see that the